Hi everyone, welcome to Unlocking Creative Potential, the RoboHead plugins for Adobe. So the main point of the plugins and why we created them was really to simplify your workday so that you can stay within the applications you're using all the time. You don't have to keep flipping out to go to your browser to log into RoboHead. So from within InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator, and XD, you can log right into RoboHead. And then once you log in, you'll stay in the application. You can also have a link at the bottom here to go to your RoboHead account, to the online help specific to the plugins, or to submit suggestions for new ideas for the plugins, things you want to see that you want to be able to do from within those applications. I do want to point out here an InDesign additional feature, even though I'm going to be going over what we have currently. This additional feature is specific to InDesign because it really allows you to stay within the plugins even more so. I'll show you how, but when reviewers review your documents in RoboHead, especially those text-heavy documents, layouts, brochures, that kind of thing, and they provide text comment edits. In InDesign, you can just go and apply those changes. So you'll see all the edits in your screen. You can click on Apply, and then you can just check the text, make sure the text isn't wrapping weird or anything they've selected wasn't done incorrectly. But then it'll allow you to just add those edits right in, eliminates the need for copying and pasting, and allows you to be a lot more accurate when making those changes quickly. So on my screen, I have the panel for View My Work and Export File to RoboHead. So these are the two panels you'll see in all of the RoboHead plugins for all those tools. And these are the two icons. So the panels work like any other panels within the applications you're already using. They have the icons. You can open them up, detach them, minimize them, everything that you're used to already. So the first thing I want to cover is installation. Super easy. It's probably the easiest part of anything I'm going to show you. All you need to do is go under your Creative Cloud plugin in the Marketplace or in Adobe Exchange and click on Install. So I'm just going to flip to Creative Cloud right now to show you that. So here you can see I'm on Home. You just want to click on Stock and Marketplace. And then over here on Plugins, you'll just search on RoboHead. Sorry, I'm not clicked into it. Our plugins will come up, and then you'll see that any that are already installed will be installed, and then any that aren't, you'll just click on Install. Now, if you have the application open, you will need to quit it, but really easy. It's just going to tell you, some information. Click OK. Simple as that, and it's installed. So now I'm just going to flip to let's look at Illustrator first. So in Illustrator, I do have the plugins installed already. That's something to note, that in some places you'll see it called an extension, and in some places you'll see it called a plugin. Plugin is the new code Adobe has that allows us to build the plugins in. The older code that they're slowly converting over, but when you build it there, it's called an extension. So here in Illustrator, you'll see up under the window field, you click on Find Extensions on Exchange. That's where you could go to do that search that I just showed you. But then once you have the extension installed, for Illustrator, it will be here under Extensions. So Export Files to RoboHead or View My Work. I already have them installed, and my panels are over here. So I just want to point out a couple of things. What's nice about the Export File to RoboHead is this allows you to export files to project or campaign in this panel. So you just choose project or campaign, and then you could do a search and search in for the project name. And then you can select whichever project or campaign, you just click on it to select it that you want. Then down here underneath, I'm just going to expand this a little. Down here underneath, you'll see that the file name has pre-populated with exactly what I have the file name already as my document. So we'll populate that for you. And then I have this checkbox for Add New Version. So when you want to add a new version on a file that's already uploaded, you want to make sure that the file name stays the same, because when you click on that checkbox, it will then go ahead and look for that file name and will add a new version to the file. If you want to add a new file, you could change the name, but that's just something to keep in mind if you want to add new versions. You don't want to keep changing the name because it will create a new file. So you just want to keep that file name the same. And then you can choose the format. So for Illustrator, we have PNG, SVG, PDF, and JPEG. For other applications, we have different formats. We're working on adding additional formats, so if there's any that you need specifically, please do let us know. And then you just click on Export, and it would export the file. So I'm going to flip to Photoshop now. Just want to show you where the plugins are in here. So again, my panels are at the bottom, export file to RoboHead, and view my work. So view my work, I just want to show you a little bit about what options you have here. And of course, whatever your preference for how you use your panels, you can do that with these. But my work will show you all open work. It will show you any of your personal to-dos, so your personal checklist. You can click on the checkbox to mark to-dos complete, or you can click on the down arrow to take additional actions. On tasks, you can click on the status icon to mark a task from not started to in progress, and then again from in progress to complete. When you do click on a task to mark it complete, it will drop off this list. So it's really easy to mark things as complete and done from within the plugins. We also have the task name and the project name. You'll notice they're in blue, they're links, so those will always in all the panels directly bring you to those in your browser. So that's a direct link if you need it. And then also here you'll see the clock icon on tasks. You can always add time, and it will pull up that window that you're used to for adding time or changing the status of tasks. Here as well, we have under reviews in Photoshop, especially we have in Illustrator, NXD, we have the upload file icon. So what that allows you to do is upload the file to that review. Again, whatever format you'd like, same as export file to project or campaign. And that's in those applications. And in InDesign, we have a few other options. So I'm going to show you that now. Okay, so in InDesign, here are my panels, export file to RoboHead, and view my work. So what's nice about this is I do have that additional feature that I mentioned set up in here. What it is on this review, on this document I sent out as a review within RoboHead. I have the file open because I know I have edits that are coming back in. So I just have to go to this document in the review here. And then you'll see next to the review, instead of the upload icon, there's an actions menu because I have two actions in InDesign that I can do. I can export to review, same as before. If I want to export a new version, I can do that. Or I can import PDF comments. So what this does is it allows you to bring in any of those text edits that people have marked up in your RoboHead review into this document. So you can see here, it's open the PDF comments panel. The headline or the subhead has changed on the page. And all I need to do is click on accept, and it will make the changes. Now, I did mention before you'd want to eyeball it, make sure it's making it correctly. You can see that when they selected the text, they didn't select the period. So I just want to make sure I remove that period. And I could probably also increase the font size a little bit, adjust it a little better now that the subhead is shorter. But you can see how easy it is. I didn't have to copy and paste. I didn't have to worry about where it was exactly. I can just click on accept and then just, of course, make sure it's done correctly for the final version. All right, so I'm just going to flip back to my presentation. We're still on install. So the plugins that we have released in live. So I just showed you them, but I do want to just call them all out here kind of as a list for you. Manage your open work. You can update those task statuses, mark your task complete. Best thing you can do quickly, mark things off your list. Add time, of course, to those tasks. Manage your own personal to-dos, and then export your file to a RoboHead review. In the panel for export your file to RoboHead, you have the project or campaign. I did include review here because you can do that. It's just in the other panel. But you can choose from the different file format options. You can add a new file or add a new version to an existing file. And then, of course, we have that InDesign apply text edits shortcut. So, that will save you some time. It'd be a lot quicker to just go accept, 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 and then just adjust the layout as, of course, you need to, depending on what changes they've made. So what we have planned for the upcoming year for the plugins. So on our roadmap, we have managed timesheets. A lot of you have said that you go into the manage my timesheets often, and you'd really like to do that from within the plugin and not have to leave those applications. So we're looking at adding in that. It would be a whole new panel probably, because the format of that manage my timesheets page is a little wider. But you can make it a little wider, the panels, however you'd like. But you'd be able to do all the functionality you have on those manage my timesheets page. We also know that you want to be notified when things change within the applications, within the plugin. So instead of having to go look for an email or another note or something in your notes inbox in RoboHead, You want to be notified, especially when review edits are made here, and then when you're assigned new tasks. And then sometimes, when your work you're assigned becomes past due, you will have the due dates there, but to call it out would be helpful, we've been told. So, and then also we'd like to expand the offering. We're working on this too, looking at expanding the plugins to Premiere Pro, InCopy, and then because XD and Figma, there's going to be changes there. We're looking to see if the coding for Figma, we can also add the plugins as it is now too. So we're looking at those things. So feedback, the changes we make and the things on the roadmap really come from looking at usage and looking at feedback. So a lot of you already are uploading enhancement suggestions to us. You can see here in the upper right, this is just a corner of my RoboHead application. You can also do this from within the plugin, but click on the question mark icon and submit enhancement suggestion. So if there's something that we don't do currently that you'd really like us to do within the plugins, please let us know. I mean, really anything, but especially with the plugins, we want to build these out, even more so for what you need. So you put in what you'd like. You also can look at what others have entered in. So you can vote for existing suggestions. So just down farther on the page, once you're in that panel, you can click on the like icon on any of the options, and that will allow you to vote on those. So voting and adding in new ones both have the same amount of weight. It really helps us. The more weight an item has, the more we're going to look at it and address it, and the more interest that something has. So just definitely let us know. And if you haven't had a chance to look at that yet, please do. And then up next, we have Jim Tower. He's going to talk about facilitating interdepartmental projects using integrations. So thanks so much for attending today.